Hello, and welcome to Depth Perception. We discuss movies and dive into how films direct the way we experience them. We create a perception of sound. Yes. A perception of sight. With a dimension of mind, we move into a land of both shadow and substance, of themes and ideas. I am joined by Mr. Send It, Tin Man.
Damn it! That was...
And the demon barber himself, K-Max.
Cosine. How about the shave?
Today's episode is the movie portion of our chapter on vengeance and is brought to you by the 2007 horror musical Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Directed by Tim Burton and starring who else but Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. It's the story of a man out for revenge against the people responsible not only for wrongfully imprisoning him, but taking his wife and daughter. I'm enjoying how this chapter is playing along with our chapter on justice, especially the movies. I don't know if you guys noticed, but quite a lot of parallels and similarities between these two things.
What a web we weave, Mr.
Revealing themselves, yeah. So even the premises of this movie and Les Miserables start off similar. We have a man returning to society after years of wrongful imprisonment. They begin a popular business in the city. They have a beautiful blonde daughter whose mother isn't really in the picture. They have a conflict with a certain man of the law. Takes place in 1800s Europe, and it's a musical. In both movies, there are also specific scenes where our protagonist makes a conscious decision on how he will conduct himself after experiencing something. So in Les Miserables, you have Jean Valjean experience grace from a clergyman, and perhaps the first act of kindness he's shown in decades. And from that point on, he carries himself with a similar strive for compassion. And then you have Sweeney Todd, who is told the story by Mrs. Lovett of what happened to his wife and child at the hands of Judge Turpin, and responds by vowing revenge. So both men create new identities, but one chooses a path of reform, while the other chooses a path of vengeance. Did you guys pick up on how similar these premises started off?
Yeah, my goodness.
not till just now, yeah.
All right, so our talking points for today. As always, we're going to go with first reactions, which is going to be a pretty cool segment because we have two people with very first reactions, very first experiences watching this movie. And then, favorite scenes accompany that. And then we have favorite songs. Oh, what am I doing? Hit the...
I mean, it's better, but...
Favorite songs.
The chord was on it.
Sure.
You listen now. Listen now. Listen now, people.
Theme
You
and
be the
why.
judge. What was that?
Theme and why. Oh, there we go.
Your chord,
There
sir.
we go.
I don't know if it was.
We'll see. My turn.
Okay.
All right.
We'll ask the question, was this effective justice that we see in this movie?
Effective justice.
See, it was the chord. It wasn't us. It was the chord,
No,
people.
we were good the whole time.
We were good the whole time.
Then we'll go with use of color.
Now I'm going to blow it.
Use of lyric or music.
Oh, you
Ooh,
got
I
it.
did the brush off.
Clean as can be.
We're going to ask another question of what impacted you more, the cautionary message or the gratifying revenge?
That's a really good question, by the way.
That was a pump fake in there.
Then we're going to ask another question and see what had the more visceral reaction for you guys, Sweeney Todd or Les Miserables.
Visceral reaction. Mulligan. That's bogey.
For a visual for our viewers, that was 2 whiffs. 2 whiffs and a foul ball.
I knocked the ball off the tee gently and then reset it and then topped it into bushes.
Sounds all too familiar for me. Jeepers.
All right, guys. So first reactions, I'll preface this for our audience. All 3 of us came over for the first time in
Too long.
for a while.
Snow Wolf? Wolf of Snow Hollow?
Yeah. it's
Did we
been
watch that
months-
together?
Yep.
That might have been it, yeah.
Months since we've watched a movie all together. When was that? That was just this past Friday.
Some chicken wing dip.
Yeah.
That's right, Friday.
Wing,
So-
chicken wing dip and
3 days ago, 4 days ago. But we finally got to see it together, so I'm interested. I got a little idea of how you guys felt, but go full board here and tell me what your reactions were.
I'll go first, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
I'll go first. Okay. First reactions. Very Tim Burton, the vibe, the people, this is the actors.
Right.
Musicals. I'm not a super huge fan of musicals, but I did enjoy this one's story, especially how it ended. I liked where I liked what it did with the story. I don't know how to put everything into words.
I like how in our very first episode, you're like, I don't really like horror movies. And you listed like American Psycho and Tremors. You're like, I'm not really a musicals guy. You're like, Les Mis is pretty good. Sweeney Todd had a sweet ending.
I feel like when I'm watching some of these movies, not in my leisure, like for work, like for this, I spend more time trying to pick it apart, try to understand it, try to hear, like, what's the story trying to say? And it gives you more context and understanding to it. And
Yeah.
make you a little more open to what it's trying to say. I'm like, all right. And I felt like when, spoiler, if you haven't seen it, how they die in the end is kind of like, poetically perfect how they died. That's how I felt. I'm like, oh, you made this bed, now you lie in it. Like you're rooting for this character because he's the protagonist, but he's doing awful stuff.
Yeah.
That you kind of feel like, oh, it's a little bit of justice. There's a little bit of justice, right till it's not.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this guy's he's given in. He's the Sith now. He's given into the dark side. And he might still get his vengeance, but at the cost of so much. You're definitely on the wrong side now.
Yeah, that's why I think the musical itself is brilliant to bring you to that point.
Yeah.
It brings you around to that point right there. And I think what Tim Burton did was and why my first reaction is blown away awesome. Just really, really loved it, and thinking to myself, why have I not? Well, all you got is now. So I did now, and I'm glad I did. It was delicious. Even the multiple payoffs, right? We'll get to that later, but it wasn't just one payoff. It was like a payoff, and then in the falling action was probably my favorite. I wouldn't have thought my favorite event. Inside the falling action, you had this climax, which is usually yummy payoff Braley here.
Yeah.
It's usually my moment. But in the falling action, things that occur, I was like, that's that twist and that turn and that. It's almost like a conscience that comes in. Jiminy Cricket comes in, and he's got the biggest line in the biggest act in the entire musical and the entire movie. I thought that was really cool. So when you say first reactions, favorite scenes, mine is a song. So I'm not jumping because I still have one for song coming next. But it's a musical, so of course it can be your favorite scene can be a song, and it was A Little Priest.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just thought that was just. We were all 3 laughing.
Yeah.
We were all cracking up just at the way it was shot brilliantly. So the musical, I've never seen it, but many friends and there's several that have listened to the program, to our podcast, that have seen it. And it was just at Shays last season, Sweeney Todd. And I want to hear what they have to say as far as their reaction. if they were able to get out of that scene how tickled we were and how they were able to show that on stage.
Right.
Because they were able to frame it really nicely.
Yeah, because the context is wild.
Yeah, really,
But you're like, wait, is that what they're saying? Because I didn't get it at first.
Well, I think we were all kind of thinking,
and
wait
then we're
a minute.
like, oh, well, because it tastes a little like this because of this guy's like that. It
that's
tastes a
right.
little bit like, I'm like, that's funny.
And but that scene right there was like, and to me, it was my favorite because it established. Sometimes I need to be spoon fed a little bit, especially with musicals, and it established like their twisted alliance. Mm-hmm. It really set out like, oh, I get what you're saying. Like, I see. Here's what I'm asking for, and here's what's going to make my meat pies better. And are you picking up what I'm setting down? And it really, the song itself, and that scene was like, this is the journey we're going on. They're aligned now. They know the dirty of each other, and they seem to be okay with it. They're in alliance. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's weird and scary. And I thought, that's a cool scene, that made me think to myself, it's a musical little ditty, a little number that was having me laughing, but it really established, all right, this is the vehicle that he is going to exact his vengeance.
I felt a lot of, if anyone's ever heard the song, A Little Piece of Heaven by Avenged Sevenfold,
Oh,
it very
gotcha.
felt like that. Like this somewhat twisted love story, this dark gothic, a little dark humor,
That's a super
twisted
cool
story.
song.
But it's how it felt watching it. Because I've seen the song, I've seen it live, and I've seen the musical, like the music videos for it, and I was like, oh, that feels like this.
That's
Whereas
super cool.
Almost a supernatural, twisted love story type thing.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene?
My favorite scene is probably when he's killing everybody. Everyone comes in, they're getting cut like crazy. And
Almost
he's
like a
singing to that
montage
one.
type
That
thing?
montage one near
Yeah.
the end. That song and that scene probably I was just like, oh, he's giving in. Everyone's getting it, like you can't feed the monster enough. It'll never be satiated.
You were
More
cracking up
blood.
as they were getting dumped.
They dump the bodies like so
So violently.
like plop like that way, and I'm like oh.
So I saw this in theaters when it came out, but I remember when I heard about it, I definitely liked musicals at that point, but it wasn't like I didn't have a whole lot of variation with the kind that I watched. So like I saw a trailer for it, and I was like, a what? A horror musical? Okay, like it's got horror, okay, it's got musical, and it's Johnny Depp, and it's Tim Burton. I'm like, the ingredients are there, I guess, but how are you going to do this? Like, how are you? Because, like, you think musicals, you think
Happy, fun,
happy,
singing,
lovey, stuff like that.
Mary Poppins or
Grease.
yeah, yep.
And so it was kind of like, I'll try it, and so I saw it in theaters with a few people. I remember what stood out is one of the people that I sat with also was like chuckling at the priest song. So I was like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just not like macabre.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt with you guys watching it. I was like, looking, okay, cool, we're good.
well, at this point, I'm a nurse. We have quite a dark sense of humor, I feel like.
All the nurses I know I'd be like, I could say a joke and they would laugh. I'm like, oh, I forgot the crowd I was with for a second. And I was like, oh, never mind. I'm all right.
And I think favorite scene, I feel like within that context, watching it was at the very beginning when Sweeney, or at that point Benjamin Barker and Anthony were on the ship rolling into London, and he has that dark, it's Anthony was singing, and Sweeney or Barker kind of took the lyrics and twisted them a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it was at that moment I was like, oh, this is how it's going to work. You're able to really put a lot of context in your songs rather than just, oh, I'm singing what's happening. I'm singing how I feel. Like you're really able to put into context like who this guy really is.
I see.
Like, he's just the way that Johnny Depp delivers the song also, or those lyrics, it kind of set the stage, and immediately I was bought in. I was like, that's okay. I get it. I get you now. This is going to be pretty cool, I think. So.
I found myself really impressed with Johnny Depp, right? I mean, we don't usually get into performance so much. We get into like theme and things like that, but I think it's cool to say when you're impressed with something like a performance, like the singing, like his, we'll talk a little bit about that later, I'm sure, but like the singing, and this was like the pace and cadence, and I'm getting ahead of ourselves, but he was great at that, like controlling, maybe not the best voice, but he was definitely the character.
Well, I think that's how our conversation on Les Miserables went too, where it was like not the best technical singers, but the performance is what you're after when you have a movie version of a musical. You can zoom up and see the actual performance, and not just rely on the quality of the sound performance. You know?
Awesome. That's it. That's
Nailed it.
That's crispy.
That's solid.
That was Tin Man. Crispy. Metal on metal will give you that.
So, pretty close to what we just talked about, but favorite songs now. You probably guess Priest is one of them.
Yeah, but I think...
Oh, yeah. If I wanted to separate scenes from songs... No, go ahead. You go first.
Which is tough.
Favorite-
Give me a
songs.
second, because I'm going to need a second. Go
Well, I
ahead.
love the contest. The contest
yes,
with Sasha,
yes.
Oh, damn it, I should've
Sasha
went
Cohen and Johnny Depp. It felt... Okay, here's why I like it. It's just, I wrote a line here. It felt quite slapstick. And it felt like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Like his role from the last movie we watched him in?
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it felt like... do you remember like the... I remember there was a Bugs Bunny Marriage of Figaro. There was a cartoon, and they were like a little play on a musical. And it was... There was literal like jousting and smacking. I can't remember who his antagonist was, who Bugs Bunny, was one of the usuals.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He had his shape like an upside down triangle.
Yeah,
basically, and a bald head. Yeah.
And it was like there's a slapstick give and take here and there, and I felt like that. And for a regular live, not a live action, but like a live action director to give you a feel as an audience member of feeling like you're watching a cartoon, like Sacha Baron Cohen's character. Can't remember what his name was. The barber.
Parinelli?
Okay.
Pirelli? Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Pirelli. So like he was so interesting, and isn't that what sometimes what you want? He's just interesting and captivating character. And I'm thinking when he was gone so soon, I'm like, yeah, he had to be gone right then, but man, it would have been nice to have him around a little
Just
bit longer.
one more, like maybe a scene to play
yeah.
off
He
of.
was so compelling. His character was so compelling. But that's just the contest.
I like that one too. That was cool. I did like that. He kills him, and then Helena Bonham Carter is kind of like, he's like, he was trying to blackmail me. Like, okay.
Yeah, right. Honest to goodness, yeah.
What I like, kind of throwing back to reference Les Mis a little bit again, but there's this idea kind of flowing through about created identities. So like we had Valjean, we had Javert go undercover, and this one we got Benjamin Barker turning into Sweeney Todd, and then we've got Pirelli actually being, was it Davy Smith or something?
Yeah, or something.
And then we had his boy, his assistant or whatever, had the blonde wig, and and then we had
The wife?
what was her name? So Joanna went under. She was dressed as a boy at the end, and then her mom. Tin Man's looking it up now, but she was kind of disguised.
Yeah,
So a lot of in these two themes on justice and vengeance, kind of like an underlying tool of using identities, kind of switching back and forth.
It's probably making you, I don't know if it is or not, but I feel like it might be making you examine, like, oh, did you feel this when they were this? Did you feel this way when they were this? How do you feel about vengeance now?
Right.
Lucy was the wife.
Lucy,
Mrs.
yeah.
Lovett was the Helena Bonham Carter. That was her name.
And she was beautiful.
I did like the
Forgot
back
what
and
his
forth
name was.
singing between Vecna and Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Because he had like a He'd ring out like these perfect, beautiful notes, and you get twisted over here, right? Sweeney Todd.
Oh,
This
so
rotting
good.
pit full of shit. Like,
Yeah,
that's
he did-
how he
he did
described
such
London
a-
to go off. You gotta remember.
I mean,
remember the time frame.
well, that's why I feel
should've
really
just
good
said it
about.
louder.
I feel really good about Johnny Depp as an actor. Like, it just I marvel at how well he plays. Jeepers Creepers, Pirates of the Caribbean. when he plays that
Sparrow.
role and his voice, like the creative process there. But then I heard this and I feel like it's cart before the horse, man. This is his masterpiece. I thought this character mastering it with the voice and also in song, singing it with his tone, and you can hear how like bitter he is and how dark he is, and it's.
Like how mad he got the first time
Yes.
Alan Rickman got away.
Yes. Like he was ticked.
Yeah.
And then when he was waiting for him, like he said by the end of the week, and she's like, "It's not the end of the week," and he's
It's
like,
Tuesday.
"Yes,
Who says the week's out?
yes." Anywho, great stuff, man.
Tin Man, favorite songs?
I don't know. I like the one he was singing, where he's singing to the moon, or when he finally gets his razor blades.
Yes.
Oh,
My
yeah.
friend?
My
Yeah,
friends, yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
Finally, my arm is complete.
I believe that is the that's like the piece de resistance of this. You hear it redone a lot of times. That song.
Well, there's that one and Joanna.
That's true too. Yeah.
You introduce the spark between Anthony and Joanna, but then it's reprised later on between Sweeney Todd and
Lucy.
Anthony. I think you mentioned the reprise. I think it's listed as like Joanna in parentheses reprise. I think that one is one of my favorites. Priest is definitely one, like it sucks you right in, and like
That's a fun
like
one.
the movie it's billed as like a horror musical, but to get you to laugh at a certain number of parts too is like, weird that you can make me still laugh at,
Yes.
the context of this. Like, I remember The Office did a Sweeney Todd episode. Like Stanley just couldn't fathom like.
I don't remember which episode this
Really?
is. Yeah.
Andy played Anthony's character, I think,
Yep.
a sailor, and he's dressed like a Donald Duck sailor.
Maybe I've seen this episode, but didn't realize it was a Sweeney Todd.
The Nard Dog.
Bernard Dog.
Jeez, I swear this thing's listening to me. I just type in the office and Sweeney Todd shows up.
No way.
Yeah. I've never typed those words in my life. Frickin' phones.
Yeah, right.
Stealing our data, mining our words. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I see that.
I think of like Super Troopers, where he's like, "Oh, biker."
Yeah. I like that's all they had to say. Like they didn't have to like give
Right.
anything else. You're just like, they just look at each other like, oh, biker, and then just kept going with the scene.
Oh, here you go.
The tale of Sweeney Todd. His skin was pale and his eye was on.
Sorry. I just had to turn it off, but like Jim just looking at it like, oh, here we go.
You know, I enjoyed My Friends also because it was kind of like okay, this is the journey we're on. Now we're in place. We're firmly aware of what is going to happen throughout this movie. Then,
Yeah.
That's right. This is what we're embarking on, huh?
K-Max, any other thoughts on favorite songs?
Yeah. I thought. There was a line in the song that got me. "Poor Thing." In the song "Poor Thing" was like pretty much like the retelling of when Mrs. Lovett was kind of retelling the story of the barber and his family. to Sweeney Todd himself.
Yeah.
And he asked, and Sweeney Todd asked, what was his crime? And she says, foolishness. And I thought more into this than I probably should have, but like that was his turning point. That was his precipice. That was his heel turn. That was him that's what caused him to be so doggone deranged in all these years, was he was so guilty of being naive and foolish, and the judge taking and the beetle, all that happening to him and to his the loved ones. And so he's like, all right, I'm not only going to have my vengeance, I'm going to be the exact opposite of that foolish, naive boy, and I'm going to rain hell on all of you. and that's why, as we get later in the discussion, I'm very, very conflicted with what payoff was better for me. In the world of yummy payoffs, I'm like, this was so yummy because he was wronged, and you did kick him when he was down, and he was foolish. That was the only thing he wasn't guilty of anything else. He loved his wife and his daughter.
That's interesting. Well, for one, I pointed out in my when I relay it to Les Mis, it was that moment though when she's like asked him, oh, it's true, you're Benjamin Barker. And he said, no, not Barker. It's Todd now, Sweeney Todd, and I will have my revenge, or however he delivers it. So it was like you said, that's the scene there where he made a conscious decision of how he's going to conduct himself from then on.
Yeah, he's Darth Sweeney.
Darth Todd.
I would go as far as to say foolishness was continuing his crime. He was continued to be foolish. It just is no longer am I going to be naive. I'm going to be this, good. But
My
still
gosh.
foolish to the end.
That's wonderful.
And I remember the way that I perceived, she kind of had this look when he asked what his crime was, and I almost felt like she knew already that it was Benjamin Barker. And when he asked what the crime was, and she just kind of like stared at him and said, foolishness, kind of like poking the bear a little bit.
That's right.
I think this is you, so if I just call you a fool, like, are you going to break and let me know that it is you? Or,
Boy.
Hey,
great performance by her, obviously, too. Like,
I will say I did like the scenes where they would, it was fantasy, and it was like colorful at the beach, and they just looked like these stark black and white weird characters in the middle of a beach in the sand with the boats going by.
Didn't it look very, very graphic novelish to you guys? Those scenes, to me, it did.
Well, I mean, the whole movie to me.
Yeah. I love that though. Like especially those, and we'll talk color and whatnot later. But I love the blocking of those scenes specifically because it made it almost like, for those who aren't paying attention, who can't know, this is never going to happen, and this is how it could have happened, but it never would happen.
In her head, that's what a possible fantasy could be.
And
then maybe they would fall in love together. Maybe they could make it all work out.
And who would have thought in Sweeney Todd you would get a actual great picture of the difference between men and women sometime? Like her idealistic view of it, and him pretty much saying, yeah, of course. Like, I do. Don't you want that?
Yeah, like in her fantasy, it was all, oh yeah, I love your idea. Let's do it.
And his response was just very minimal. And she called him out because he wasn't answering at all. And even his character inside the fantasy was kind of like
standoffish, like super passive, if not avoidant.
Oh dear. Good stuff.
Your turn.
This is me now, so this is horrible.
Nice.
Not bad.
Solid.
Not bad.
All right.
These fluffy fingers.
In what might
you gotta
be
brush the corners. And
our easiest question of what the theme is and why.
False.
Oh man, don't say it that way. I felt good about this version.
I didn't take 1 second to think about theme.
I'm hoping. I mean, with everything that you've seen, I still feel confident you could come up with one on the spot for this movie.
Vengeance is his own undoing, I guess.
There you go.
I feel like ringing the bell. I was going to say the danger of unchecked vengeance.
Yeah, nice.
So
nice.
Doesn't have, it's almost like, I think it's that exactly what you said. but I also think it's that the danger of it being like vengeance, yeah, dangerous, and it's, vengeance is mine, say all those things, right? But like the danger of unchecked vengeance. So it's like, have your vengeance if you must, but be a little more calculated. Don't just be rogue.
Be consumed.
Yes.
A man out for vengeance needs to dig 2 graves.
Yes.
Or 12.
Or just open a chute in your attic.
or turn your barbershop chair into a chute.
But what I enjoy though is that the theme, it's a tried and true theme in stories about the dangers of vengeance, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that helps contribute to your quote yummy payoffs, because you understand what the movie is talking about so well. You can lose yourself in those moments.
That's right.
So instead of searching for what the movie's trying to say, you already know what it's telling you. So you can kind of focus on the other parts of the movie, the performances, the songs.
Your deeper level of allegory is pretty close to the surface.
Yeah,
there
it is.
So it's not this hidden, but through the trees you got to hunt for kind of thing.
Yeah, because one of my biggest things is if you can try to understand what the storytellers are saying to you, you'll have a better time watching the movie. So the way I worded mine, again, it should be just shades of each other, right? I said the distorted, obsessive, and destructive nature of vengeance. Mm-hmm. So there's a few different tools, though, that I wanted to point out that kind of support even more. Mm-hmm. But visually, anytime there is a mirror shown in a movie, pay attention. Why is that mirror there? What's that mirror showing? How is it showing it? So in his barbershop, the one mirror is distorted and cracked and broken.
Yeah.
And obviously we're getting that means a distorted view of reality, right? And so you relate that to vengeance. There you go. There's your tool already. And I also have with the destructive nature of vengeance, the amount of collateral used in order for you to act out your vengeance. So obviously in this one you have all these people being grinded into meat pies.
Yeah.
Turning into literal substance for these characters, right? And I think there's a little more similarity with people that are blinded by certain views of justice and that sort of thing. Because, again, referencing Les Mis, but Javert had trouble seeing who the innocent people were throughout the story. And in this one, you have Sweeney Todd not being able to see that it was Lucy the whole time, not being able to see that it's his daughter coming out of the thing, and then kind of relating also to the distorted view. So a lot of vision being blinded by your vengeance, and then Les Mis' case, your perspective on justice.
Very much. If anyone's ever heard the song "Dance with the Devil" by Immortal Technique,
I don't think I have.
I'll give you if anyone's out there listening, it's a very explicit song. So, but it is a very, very close to this story. Someone has eyes on a very specific prize.
I see.
Focus solely on this one thing, no matter who it hurts or what it costs, and then finding out that at the very end, it's cost you one of the things you held dear the most. Cost it at the end.
Well, one of the things that we brought up previous episode is like the Count of Monte Cristo, where you had all this gold and used it only to get back at the guy that wronged him. Mm-hmm. And in this one, you have all these pieces that can be salvaged for a new life.
Yeah.
You have a barbershop now. You could be with Mrs. Lovett, but if you were a little bit more attentive to your surroundings, you could have your wife and daughter back. Mm-hmm. And can't see any of these things, and is focused only on the revenge.
It's a beautiful cautionary tale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And some of the themes that we talked about too is like this empty feeling of vengeance. Like once it's performed, you know, did it do you any good? No. So like in this one, he carries it out. He's in the basement. He takes care of Mrs. Lovett, and then, well, right before he takes care of Mrs. Lovett, looks and sees that, oh, it's Lucy here. So it's only after he has post-murder clarity that he can tell, oh, this was Lucy. Like
this is what I did all of this for.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though is I didn't see it at all coming.
I had feeling that this lady who kept pointing it out and they kept yelling at, I was like, she looks like she's kind of hot compared to what this Hagrid, what's it called, supposed to be. And like, I don't know.
She
She looks like
says
she's
more about you.
I honestly had no. I love that too. That I had no idea, like no clue. But then as it happened, I was like, of course, that's very plausible and very logical. But I didn't. Thought, well done.
Well, and then Mrs. Lovett has this line, always brooding away on your wrongs. What happened, heaven knows how many years ago. And that's kind of prevalent through the whole thing. Like you're only focused on the wrongs from a lifetime ago. And like I just said, can't see the things that he has in front of him to be taken advantage of.
I mean, one of the things that the pod's done for 2 seasons now has given like life looks, like little life lesson snapshots, and that's one of them right there. Is do you dwell on the past and just the hurts, or do you take inventory of where you're at now?
even in the littlest senses.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be. I devoted my life to vengeance. I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly working towards it every day. Exactly.
Right. I'm working toward it every day.
They will rue the day. It's coming.
That's
Yes,
like
instead of
Ralph's villains.
Yes.
Villains meeting. Yeah.
instead of just taking inventory and being thankful and moving forward with what you have and saying, here's what I have right now. Here's the opportunities I have. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend my life. It's just, there's so many lessons there, man. I'm going to just continue to be consumed and I'm going to let it steal my joy. Congratulations. You know, you're taking the poison and hoping that it hurts your enemy.
Right.
And I touched on it a little bit before, but this idea of becoming a different person when you're seeking revenge. So very on the nose metaphor here of Benjamin Barker becoming Sweeney Todd in order to get his vengeance and kind of leaving who he was behind. And you take that into, just everyday life of, you become a different person when you let that side of you take over, right? And kind of going along with that, but hurting loved ones when you do that as well. So in real life, when you're acting out of hatred and trying to get even with someone or whatever it is, the collateral you're using, right, in order to accomplish that, and the identity you have being compromised when you let that take over. So right there, we see it with Sweeney Todd, well, he meant to do it, but he didn't know it was her, but killing Lucy, and then almost killing Joanna, killing Mrs. Lovett, wanting to kill Anthony. So pretty on the nose comparisons here for how vengeance and
even how they die. Mrs. Lovett being burned in the oven. I know you mentioned it earlier. I was going to bring it up now.
But yeah, being overtaken by hatred,
Awesome.
just how that affects your loved ones, how it affects your own self.
Very slippery slope.
Any other thoughts on our? Well, and like I said, that's why I included those specific words: distorted, obsessive, and destructive.
Yeah.
For nature of vengeance.
The obsessive part is...
Oh, go ahead.
No, they're just saying the obsessive part was shown in even the flashbacks and the fantasy sequence, the distorted and the obsessive part was shown, like I said, when he was almost catatonic state when she's singing this big love story and he's on the beach and he's on this and he's almost rocking like, get this sequence over with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Johnny Depp's freaking good, man.
Was that your turn? Is it my? No, I got the last one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm scared.
No, don't be.
Crispy.
You know, crispy is the only, or one of the only words where it starts at the back of your mouth and goes to the front.
Crispy.
Crispy.
And so is Chris B. Starts at the back.
Oh my! You start with that? Now, was Sweeney Todd ultimately killing the beetle and killing the judge? Was that effective justice and everything that went down here?
Absolutely. I would say it was ineffective because of all the collateral.
Created a little bit more injustice before it got even. There was no even.
And what's tough about it is that he was such a high-ranking official that there would be no way for any true justice or any structured justice to come into play to rectify.
Well, I was going to bring that up too. Was no matter how, if you thought it was effective or ineffective, was there any other way this could have happened?
Could have done it like
how do you go above a judge to get him in trouble?
I mean, did he have to go in such a dark place to kill everyone before getting to him?
No, I think.
Or did he have to become that type of person just to get to that guy at all? Like he's not.
I think like his blades, he could have been a little more surgical.
Ooh.
Well, my thought is that he, and this is just storytelling, but and kind of furthering the point you're trying to make when you're telling the story. But the first time he has the judge in his shop would have been perfect, right? Mm-hmm. No one else had to die. Just the judge who showed up on his own volition. Mm-hmm. And instead of doing the deed, he's reveling in this moment and singing about women and their sensitivities or whatever it is.
Pretty women.
Yeah.
So instead of just getting even, and I think that says a bit about vengeance also of it's not is it really about getting even, or is it you enjoying inflicting pain on who you're
That's a good
targeting?
question.
Yeah, I got him right where I want him. I got him schmoozed up. He's singing along with me. He has no idea what's coming.
It didn't even have to go that part. He has a razor in his hand. He could just went.
You didn't have to, like, hey, you know what? Let's put this.
Let's lather
let's take
you
this
up.
coat off you. Let's take your scarf off. Or
Right.
let's get the clean
It
cloak
could have
for
been
you.
could have been done.
Part of his song should have been "My lollygagging friend."
Yeah,
If it hadn't lollygagged,
just out there lollygagging.
Yeah.
Let's sing a few more bars.
Yeah,
A few more bars in this.
I'm like, come on, Gilligan, just tell Skipper. There's a
He
boat in the
could have walked in
lagoon.
the
Tell
door
him.
and been like, "Oh, hey, come on in." He was killing people left and right near the end. Mm-hmm. They weren't even getting a chance to sit in the chair.
Quick
Got
slash.
you.
Yep.
Yep.
Slash.
But what I think is important, though, is how this was stopped. And you had Antony, which kind of represents, if you had a love versus hate ideal here, right? You either vengeance or reform, love versus hate type of thing. Then Antony is that version of love and trying to start over. Like his whole thing is trying to whisk Joanna off to a new start with him, right? So having that symbol burst through the door to interrupt vengeance is quite telling when you're conveying your message, right?
Oh, yeah.
So in terms of storytelling, I feel like there was never going to be any clean resolve of vengeance. But in terms of effective justice, it can't be, to me. I mean, too many other people died people. He spared the father, right?
Because there was a family,
But
that came up with
the
him,
family
yeah.
was present, but that doesn't say that all the other people he killed weren't fathers,
yep.
you know,
Right.
weren't husbands, you know.
Right. I did like that they threw that little in there, though.
You didn't like that?
I did like that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. Remember, we kind of all noted
Yeah,
it. That,
like they were like,
oh,
oh,
look
he
at
does
he-
have some.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
It
there's
might only be because it's easier to kill one guy than it is to try to chase three out the door.
very possibly, but it did make me have some redeeming. Because you got to have some
Reservations,
redemption.
right,
You got to
right.
have some redemptive characteristics for me to like it. As far as effective justice, you know, and I think Vaz's theme was perfect as far as bringing to the table that did he exact justice? Yes. Did he accomplish like his major? Yeah, but like it wasn't effective though because just like Brad Pitt in Seven, justice is you killed my wife with an unborn baby. You have to die.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing what he did, he accomplished exactly what Spacey's character wanted him to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like you corrupted your own justice. Proper justice would have been what Morgan Freeman's hollering him, drop the gun, you know, telling him, you know. So
John Doe has the upper hand.
That's right. That's right. I just thought to myself, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, you corrupted your own justice. You spoiled it. You could have maybe, you know, my yummy payoff, weird mind, like, yeah, he's got to die, man.
I wish Brad Pitt was a little more likable as the story went, because I felt like I'm like, oh, he keeps making the wrong choices. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the thing is, though, we discuss movies, though, so it's kind of cool to kind of bring that in and say, that's how I felt about this. Like, it, you know, is it effective justice? Well, he accomplished his primary objective, but in doing it, in his obsession and in his, was it disorientation or something? There was another word you used. It just got him off track, and he just had way too much collateral damage to a point of you've accomplished, you know, you've
Oh, it's just your phone.
yeah, you've undone, you know, your mission. You've undone it. You are undone right now, sir.
Well, I mean, the part of the cost was, you know, this all went down on that one that he had this plan. Like, okay, Anthony's going to bring whatever, the judge back, and that's when we get him. So he overpaid, you know, for the cost of vengeance. He overpaid for what he got. You know, oh yes, you can have the judge, but you're also going to have to kill Lucy. Like overall, that's what it became, right? So effective justice, I can't see it.
I also thought it was pretty fair that Mrs. Lovett got. Because it's like she
Got baked.
She did hide that information from him. Mm-hmm. She knew that his wife was out there, and shoo her away. She got shooed away a bunch. Oh, make sure that old lady's out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm also like cooking up these people, cutting them up, and making pies and serving it back to the public. Mm-hmm. Like,
to me,
she can't get away.
She was kind of like how vengeance taints and poisons like someone's soul. Because like she's just trying to make it on her own, trying to make these awful pies.
Worst in London.
Worst pies in London.
That was funny.
And
song, too.
Once he comes along, now it's okay, you know, it's okay if you killed him because he was going to blackmail you, and then we can bake him into a pie, and then we'll get married. You know, I'm going to keep the secret. So it's like a lot of tainted stuff after he came into her life, it felt like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like her lack of any conscience.
Yeah.
Led down a path that seemed successful, but was all fantasy and wasn't going to pay off in the end.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's key.
Three.
You want to glance it.
That's it.
1,
Third
2, 3
time's
strikes
a
you're
charm.
out. 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out. 1, 2, 3 strikes. Bugs Bunny.
Well, as long as you keep hitting foul balls, they count. Let's talk about the use of color. I want to hear you guys.
Well, we did talk slightly about in the flashbacks and the fantasies. Everything was just bold and clean as opposed to macabre setting. The typical Tim Burton graphic novel.
Yeah, it was even. It even felt like it had the what's it called filter on in the flashbacks. Is it Diane Sawyer? The Diane Sawyer filter? It's
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
like the
airbrushed almost.
Yeah, it's got like the Vaseline on the edges of the lens type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, so
Yep.
it was all rose-colored glasses for the past.
Yeah, really bright, and then in the present it's all the macabre. It's
Yeah.
just dark, very dark and shadowy. It was neat to see in like the extras. You see, it looked like normal film, and then you think, wow, look at the treatment they must have done to this film and lighting and sound to make it just dark.
Yeah, just drained
very
all
dark.
the light out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought also like blood. Blood was crisp and you knew what blood was. It was very much overdone. It wasn't. It didn't look natural
It
at
didn't
all.
look like natural
It was
blood,
very
right.
much bold.
Yeah.
That's it. Bold is the word I would use. Very bold coloring on purpose, obviously. Like
You may say the only color that mattered to Sweeney Todd, right?
oh, there it is.
Seeing
Yeah,
that red,
yeah.
Right?
I was reminded of the girl's pink sweater in
Schindler's
in
List?
Schindler's List, yeah. With just the only little element of color, and why is it? Because it catches your eye. It's like, why is that the way it is? And these are the tools that I've picked up the last couple seasons. Yeah, I hate to say it, but like learning stuff. I hate to give the devil his due, but I am certainly learning stuff, and it's cool. It's kind of cool to have it sneak up on me because, Tin Man, you said it yourself. I don't really like musicals, but when I'm doing it for an assignment, I find myself looking a little bit more, and then I enjoy it a little bit more. Like, aha! I'm like, yeah, so you're enjoying it more, And I'm thinking to myself, why fight it? I'm going to stop fighting it. I'm going to start enjoying and just saying, well, it's kind of cool to get more out of it.
Well, it sounds like, at least for K-Max, it's becoming less about focusing it and more about it becoming secondhand, where, like you said, it sneaks up on you. Where you're still watching it, but it's kind of like the light bulb kind of goes off at certain points. Like, oh, okay, well, let's I use the analogy of pulling on a string a little bit. And then when you pull it, you kind of see where it goes, right?
And you almost get as much payoff when it doesn't go where you think it's going to go. Like, I would have thought this would have went this way.
Yeah.
That counterintuitive moment.
So back to the color. So black and white, you guys mentioned. I wrote down like lack of life, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the colorful past, and then done so the past being shown almost dreamlike, is in fantasy at this point. Like,
Yeah.
you're on this road of vengeance. That is just a thing of the past. Then, if that's all you're going to focus on. What do you guys think about the strand of white in Sweeney Todd's hair?
Yeah. I mean, I thought that spoke to me, to the spiritual part, like the demon part, to me it spoke of more the musical kind of, like the demon Barber almost gave him like a spiritual look. To me, it's like he had his regular look when now he's corrupted. Now it's like Gandalf the White, almost like there's a transformation that's happened.
Like the opposite of
Yeah,
Gandalf the White.
yeah, but it's like it almost made him look ghostly a little bit to me.
What do you
Yeah.
think, Tin Man? Any
I guess I would just say it was like part of his transformation. Like that's
Yeah.
that's him giving over to this side,
Kinda
and it's
almost
in the
like
shows.
a Rogue in X-Men, where like
Yeah.
something happened and
right. And now
But-
she's different, and there's a little bit of show because of the maybe it's like the incident, the traumatic thing that set him on this
There
course.
it is, the psychic wound,
is the
you know?
stain, is the scar that holds from the past type of thing.
I mean, I think that too. Like when someone like sees a ghost, like something traumatic.
Yeah.
Someone's hair goes white or whatever. I thought that too. Like he's been through it.
Yeah.
He's been through hell, his own torment, almost justifying his craziness.
So I'll also add, for me, it was kind of like this idea of like a singular focus. Like when you see this character, you're drawn to one thing in the same way that he's drawn to one thing in life, seeking that vengeance, that revenge. That's kind of the connotation I get with it.
Now, I wonder if the character. Now I haven't read the stage play. I love doing that because you can see what the intent was. You know what I mean? So was that a Tim Burton thing, or
Right,
was
or
that
is that
or was that
Part of the
a
play
playwright
prior.
thing?
Right.
Because that is a cool observation.
I've never seen it either. I've never seen the play.
Yeah. It's still touring right now, which would be cool to go see. I'd love to go see one of these musicals with you guys. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, I did see somewhere. Maybe it was here. We're listening to it where there other scenes are expanded that they didn't put into the movie because it's like, well, this is a movie. It's going to be built different than the play.
Cool.
And so there were other songs that they had expanded on.
Super
that weren't
cool.
in here.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Right.
That's your turn.
It is? Ah,
Yeah,
man.
Let's see here.
All right, here we go.
Three. Nice. First
Clean.
one
I'm
out of the
getting better.
park.
Really getting good at this.
How about use of music and lyrics? How did this? How did they use these to convey certain things?
I mean,
They told you.
right? like flat out with like,
Because you told me to.
a musical. I love that it wasn't bound to the lyric. Like all the dialogue wasn't bound to be sung. It wasn't
Yes.
bound to that.
I did
Remember,
like
I think
that
we
too,
all
yeah.
appreciated that there were certain lines that were delivered outside of a song that maybe drove a point home or made you feel something a little bit more crisp.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it might be. I was thinking this, and to say it almost seems sacrilegious, but I feel like a lot of the songs had more oomph than like the songs in Les Miserables, because you had time to refresh your palate when they're just speaking. So when the songs come in, there's more perception of what
I
they're
agree.
telling you.
I agree. I felt like
For once, he read my notes. 2 seasons of us repeating at his notes. For once, he read my... Because I thought that same thing. It was like a palate cleanse. It was like you had a fine wine, and then you flush with water, and now you can taste the other wine
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Instead of just one song into the next.
Right. It felt like they had their own. They could tell their point here and then kind of move on with the story
Mm-hmm.
before the next portion, where it felt like there were parts that felt like it kind of dragged a little because they had to force singing through these moments that was like,
Yeah.
this is an exposition point. It doesn't need to. Everything is a word, is a song, like all the way through. And I'm like,
Yes,
oh,
yes.
okay. But-
Yes. 100 times yes. All of that.
Now, I'm going to ask you guys about specific songs and see how you guys thought it supported either the theme or whatever
I
was
might
going
have
on
to
in the
look
movie.
up the song if you're going to.
Yeah.
Well, I can also describe when it happens,
Okay.
too. So first one we'll go with is My Friends.
Yeah.
You know that one then, right, Tin Man? So what do you guys think of that song and how it pertains to Sweeney Todd's character, how it speaks to how we're supposed to be perceiving what's happening there?
I feel like it really sets the stage for this is a deep psychic wound. It's a deep psychological wound, and you can see like his psychosis almost on stage. You can well, you're not on stage, but on screen, you can see him. He's not normal when he's singing this song. He's transformed into this demon. He is transformed, not demon like literally, but he's transformed into this different person. He is Sweeney Todd. It is what makes him different from the person he was before his exile. It's a sign of the song is a transaction. It's like, here they are, and it's not a normal. Even when I see someone re-perform it, it's cringe. It's a little cringe, as the kids might say, because I'm like, you're obsessive about these.
This is the one reflection where he's not fractured.
Distorted.
Distorted though. That's true.
Oh my.
That's true.
Yeah, and I love his diction, like the way he sings that. It is creepy. Purposely creepy. He's not just singing it beautifully. He's singing it very creepy.
Well, I think he does a lot of things where Tin Man showed us a picture of his reflection off one of the blades, but he does that I think a few times where he's holding up the blade and you see his eyes, and to me, it's like how his distorted view of what these are. He calls them my friends. Like who takes a weapon and calls it their friend? A psychopath.
Yeah,
Scarface.
Right. Yeah, right.
Right.
Say hello to my little friend.
So I
That's a great
agree
answer.
with what you're getting at there, where it allows us to see that, he is not right. Like,
Yeah.
And then Mrs. Lovett is like, I'm your friend too.
Yes.
And he like pays her no attention.
No attention whatsoever.
Right.
I would go as far as that might have been part of his plan to seek vengeance, and now he got the tools needed to do it. So like he's like, now my plan can come into play now, because it never seems like he had to ponder over, well, if I get someone into the chair, oh, that's how I could kill him. It was never a plan to go sneak into the house. It was never a plan to catch him out in public. The plan was, this is what I need. I need my blades. I need my blades to do this. So we finally got them. He's like, yes, phase 1 is complete, kind of thing.
So one of the other things I thought about with this song was watching Les Miserables before watching this kind of added to my lens, I think, a little bit. So when you think about Jean Valjean and how he was able to reform himself and run a business of, what is it called? I run a business of
Ill
repute?
of high repute?
Something like that. And I thought it was very fitting then with Sweeney Todd. You have the idea of him retrieving these blades, which, again, you could either choose to reform yourself and actually be a barber and run a proper business being a barber.
He has the skills, the tools, the ability. Absolutely.
Instead, uses them as weapons to kill people. So I thought it was a pretty fitting connection there, that he's got all these tools that he could use for other reasons, all these resources, all these ingredients for a happier life laid out in front of him, but has a distorted view on how to use everything and how to see things. And that's one of them is, well, instead of shaving people, I'm also going to kill them with the same thing.
Jeepers, that phone will not stay
Tape
put
it to your
today.
hand.
He's got jelly on his fingers.
I got or something. I like that. I mean,
Clean and snatch these phones up.
Yeah. Specifically, lyrics like within that song, right? Like specifically lyrics that one I was like is you've been locked out of sight all these years, like me, my friend. I've come home to find you waiting home, and we're together, and we'll do wonders, won't we? But I talk about psychosis right there. Like, we'll do wonders, won't we? It's like, wow.
Now, how about the song Priest?
Well, I thought it was cool. Like, that was my favorite. I think my favorite scene. Just that whole song was very, because it caught me by surprise, and I was like, whoa, that's what they are talking about that, and I was kind of surprised by it. Like, it was so cleverly done. I thought it was very clever. Like, add a little this, and I'm like, oh, she's talking about characteristics of human beings. Like, this is the flavor. This is what makes them the spice, or this is what makes them a little bit stodgy. If I might use a British term, stodgy.
It also weirdly brings balance to their operation.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like, I got a dead bodies. What am I going to do with? They're like, oh, we can cook them up.
Yeah.
Benefit to you, benefit to us, to me. This is a win-win. Mm-hmm. This marriage made in hell. Anything going on.
That's it.
I thought it was people were no longer people, right? You turn them into collateral at that point.
Product.
Product. So they're, instead of a priest standing for religion and faith and all that, it stands for another flavor of what I'm going to do.
What kind of flavor can I get?
Another flavor. And I'll be honest, that is a huge, that is a commentary right there. When you dehumanize. You're talking about genocide and all the horrible crimes against humanity that happen, human rights violations. It happens. The foundation is you have to dehumanize them. They can't be human.
They turn into ingredients. They turn into tools. They turn into whatever.
Huge.
How about the reprise of the Joanna reprise?
I'm trying to think of what scenes that was.
That's your montage of the throat slitting.
Oh, that's right. So that's contrasting Vecna's singing.
Yes.
Singing his love to someone. Well, this guy's getting he's just eating up everybody while he's destroying everything.
Yes, Tin Man.
Yeah.
So I
to
kind of
contrast his slid down to nothing on top of their love for each other.
Right. So I kind of mentioned the love versus hate idea, right? The reform versus revenge.
Vengeance,
So you have one character singing the same melody and similar lyrics, but in a sense of, I'm going to whisk you away. I'm going to save you. I'm motivated by love.
Singing well, too, by the way. He sings very,
And then you have the other character with Sweeney singing like goodbye, like he's literally saying goodbye to Joanna, you know, kind of fueled by something other than love, you know, focused on the vengeance side of things, focused like, yeah, that part's gone. All I can do now is focus on slitting these throats, slitting that throat. You know, he's thinking about the old days. You know, he's looking out the window in between cutting people's throats, and instead of, you know, if he was motivated by love like Anthony, he'd be figuring out a way to. Well, he doesn't know it was Joanna, but figuring out a way to reconnect or find out where she is or whatever.
Or even move on.
And Tin Man, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but, well, we actually talked a little bit about it in Les Miserables, about the difference between, like, classically good-sounding singers versus
Russell Crowe.
singing, well, I was going to say singing through the lens of a character, you know, the characterization kind of playing into it.
Right.
So in Les Miserables, you have Russell Crowe singing, contrasting his rigidity contrasting against the rest of the cast.
Right.
And in this one, I think you kind of had a little bit of the opposite, where all the I don't want to say evil, but all the characters that have motives or whatever, you know, motives to do evil things, have either a very
Nefarious
odd
motives.
way of singing, or they have a very like characterized voice. So like Johnny Depp, you know, it's, I wouldn't say it's like classically good sounding, but it's odd and it's cool sounding. But the characters that sing well, and this is why I said opposite of Les Miserables, you have Anthony, you have Joanna, you have the kid. I forget his name.
I just call him the kid.
I'm on it. I just had it on here.
LT Google.
Oh, I did have it.
But all those characters that are representing
Toby.
All those characters are representing either love or innocence, have nice sounding voices. But so obviously you have Helena Bonham Carter, who I think hadn't done any musicals or singing before
kidding.
that. I think she like trained just for this.
Really good job.
The same thing with Alan Rickman.
Wow.
And then, you know how, what's his face talked, the Beatle.
Spall.
Timothy Spall, yeah. So they all had these like very odd voices, not like, you know, like you wouldn't put these people on like Broadway to belt out these numbers, but in a movie like this, those people add character through their voice.
Like the ladies in their sensitivities, the cadence of Spall, very almost sporadic, just very going. And then Alan Rickman just kind of like singing in his regular talking voice. Kind of the contrast there was like, I thought it was really cool how not just lyric, but like how they
almost
used,
unpredictable cadence.
Yes, it was.
Came in.
It was not.
This word.
It's like, you know, I feel like as a drummer trying to play something that I'm incapable of playing, which is most things. Like, oh, you're syncopating, you're singing right now, and then you're like, oh, that just sounds weird, but it's like, oh, it's on purpose because then it contrasts with Rickman's.
It was like the rhyming word was the first word of the next line, not the last word of the last line.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what are you doing? And it felt like that.
It's right.
You playing jazz on me?
Yeah. Playing hip hop. He's out there playing jazz. Wormtail's playing jazz.
So any other additions or comments about the use of song in lyric?
Yeah, I think By the Sea just really paints this idealistic, you know, her by the sea. It just really paints a beautiful picture of the lyrics. If you didn't have the visual and she was just singing that, you could see that from by hearing her lyrics of By the Sea. It's just like the fantasy, like this quintessential escape where we're happy, we have a nice life here, we're by the water, and it does sound awesome. It does sound very attractive. and he's having none of it.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, yeah, I guess whatever.
He just nods. Like,
Yeah, that's
you
it.
take
for
her
me
to
with
be
that.
your wife. Or,
Yeah. I think you got the bell now, Tin Man.
My turn.
oh.
Oh,
All right. Yeah,
redemption draweth nigh.
I need at least one practice swing.
It's funny our reaction here. Oh,
Yeah. The whole show starts out with like, damn it.
Oof.
Yeah. Homer Simpson like, don't.
That was a good dote right there.
Yeah, it was a really
I've been
good.
practicing
I'm telling
for
you,
20 years.
His impressions are amazing lately.
Good.
Okay, guys.
I got a face for radio.
What impacted you more? The cautionary message or the gratifying revenge?
Oh my gosh, this is a tough one. I believe this is your toughest question in 2 seasons.
Oh.
To me, this is the hardest one for me to answer because both. And I'm going to clarify here. Obviously, I'm not going to say both here. So the revenge was gratifying and it was good. The cautionary tale was better. It was a lot better.
Okay.
The cautionary tale was way better in that I'd like to read what the playwright wrote originally, because I don't know I don't know how strong the lesson is supposed to be of that. You know, we're supposed to feel for the protagonist. We're supposed to want him to get his vengeance.
That's what I'm wondering too. If there's more in what happened, why he feels so strongly, that could sell us a little more about the vengeance. Because you kind of just see everybody rush her, and then he's in prison. You know, like, okay, I guess you're mad. You look like you're really, really mad. But like, I wish I kind of got sold a little more on it. So, it felt a little more like,
right.
Oh yeah, all these people deserve to die. They're in his way.
Yeah,
Get out of his way, then. You know,
some of those movies that we mentioned in the last couple episodes. We get more. We hear more about why Kaiser Soze became what he did, and we hear more about why Man on Fire was the way he was. You know,
or Brad Pitt's thing, where you're like,
yeah,
I totally get it. If you shoot him, I get it. You almost don't care if he gets his victory. Like if I put a bullet in his head,
right? Honest to goodness,
he has it coming.
I mean, those are very, very real things, and filmmakers play on that, right?
Yeah.
They play on that with us. But like the cautionary tale is so clear and so clean that it's undeniable. Yeah, I have to gravitate toward it.
Yeah.
Even though there's still some pieces missing and there's more I want to know, the cautionary tale is so clean. Like when he finds that was his, I guess that's probably why the filmmaker did a great job. Tim Burton did a great job, and others, that I didn't know that was his Jane. What's her name?
Lucy.
Yeah. That it was his Spinderella, Salt and Pepper, Lucy. I had no idea to look that would be her, you know. And when I found out that it was
Joanna's real name is Jane.
really,
Yeah.
Well, there
you go.
it is.
That's how he messed
I
it
just
up.
thought to myself, how perfectly corrupt his vengeance is. It's like power that's corrupted. You know what I mean? Like it corrupts, and it's absolutely corrupt. Yeah. So his vengeance is absolutely undone and corrupt by that moment of realization that you took out, and she was beautiful. You know what I mean? The thing that was beautiful and the thing that motivated this Barber. He sang about her praises, and then in the reprise, he sings about it again as he's holding her. And he did that. Mm-hmm. You were the blade that your friend killed her.
Yeah.
You used your extension of your arm and everything you sang about. It killed her. Now, I don't know if you could have brought her back or saved her from her psychosis, but that person who you loved and motivated you, your motivation for all of this, was in your arms. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't see it. You were so, deluded, and all the things Vaz said. So, just making his theme even clearer.
Revenge blind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before I forget it, wasn't there a moment where Mrs. Lovett asked him, like, you can't even remember what she looks like, do you?
Oh.
It wasn't. I thought that was
you're
in
right.
there,
You're right.
And it wasn't until after he had that post-murder clarity that he was like, "Oh, this is, I know her." Like he finally
A regular term on this show. Post-murder clarity.
Yeah, post-murder clarity.
It's a Vazism.
Yeah, you're feeling that post-murder clarity. You only really feel it.
Tin Man, what impacted you more?
The cautionary tale. Of course, cautionary tale. Because I feel like Alan Rickman's death is almost like, oh, it's just another body on the pile now. Now it's throw the next guy on top of it.
Yes.
And I miss, and I said it before on the podcast, was like I kind of miss those older movies where the bittersweet ending, like where your character can't do all of this. Even if it's a hero and he's in a positive light, he can't do whatever he wants and not pay for anything, you know? There's like even in some level, like the Avengers, they're like, hey, you know, you gotta be held accountable in the Civil War movie because like you guys are just showing up destroying full on cities.
Yeah.
Granted, it's to save people, but you got to be held somewhat accountable. That idea of them having to like, hey, you know, you can't just get away with everything. Old movies, they kind of like have that bittersweet ending for it. It felt like it was more perfect having him end.
That's right.
By his own blade. Literally by his own blade.
It's a moment that we should have been awestruck, the three of us, but the three of us seemed pretty, I don't know, reading the room, we seemed pretty satisfied.
Yeah.
I know I was. And I'm like looking around like, I did not expect to feel this way. Looking at you guys like, if there's anybody else, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm well put with that.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I remember when I first watched it, I had this feeling like, you know, it was the whole thing was built up to him trying to get this revenge. And Tin Man, you kind of touched on it a little bit, is by the time he actually gets it, it's just another body on the pile. Right. The body flies down, Beetle's already there. Like it's just another body. We saw dozens, seemingly dozens of bodies fall through the same chute and end up in the same spot, and the judge is no different.
Yeah.
There's no difference in again empty satisfaction from getting your vengeance. And I remember thinking also like kind of getting that feeling like, oh, that didn't really feel to me
satisfying.
I didn't feel satisfied. And it also didn't stop there, because then Lucy comes up and she's like, what was, you know, I saw a beetle up here, and he dispatches her, and then he goes down, he dispatches Mrs. Lovett. So there was no like high point of this vengeance being like, okay, that is the point there. I feel satisfied from this. You just see all of the destruction following that also.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel like it was like a singular thing. It was just, no, that's just part of it. You have all this other stuff that you're destroying.
And I think my plot diagram was off then, because that's the way I consumed it, was looking at it like the plot diagram, like this moment when he kills the judge. That's, to me, that's like the climax moment. And then when I said, I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the podcast, I said more happens in the falling action that makes me think, oh, this wasn't the main thing, you know? And I didn't know it until we were getting to that point. You know what I mean? We didn't know that, like, oh, I was supposed to, this was the payoff, and I was supposed to not feel like that's the payoff. That's how, they had me right where they wanted me.
Now, how do you guys think of, because I asked you the same, well, pretty much the same question in the previous episode of what you thought impacted us more, the gratifying moment of revenge or the cautionary lessons that are being taught during those stories. So how do you, have your thoughts changed on it at all from last episode? I know this movie had a very specific theme about vengeance, but do you think now watching movies with revenge and vengeance involved, do you think it'll affect like how you if you're going to be gratified watching things, or if you're going to kind of have a side eye watching, okay, well, what did it cost though? What happened here? What else happened that they got this revenge? Was, you know, because
there might be movies where they're like sell up the vengeance, and you'll be like, wait a minute, what did it cost everyone around you? How many people were hurt or killed to get to this point, but the movie wants me to be happy about it? Like, I can see myself thinking like that.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. there's going to always be. I think there is in human nature. There always is a little bit of a tally there, saying, our sensibility tells us.
Was that balanced out? Was that worth the cost for that?
Yeah. But then this is why filmmakers invest so much in that story and that rising action to make you see where the anger comes from, to see how much Deadpool is tormented at the loss of his girl, that how much he lost, and to tell you so much about how
That's a good example, because that's one person that he's dead set on killing, but he didn't lose focus of the people he loved, being where he's at, and like having to learn certain things with a sense of humor throughout it.
Yeah.
Granted, he kills a lot of bad guys.
Yeah, but they're all bad. I think though this is a good humanity lesson to. I mean, again, it's not an after-school special, but like, never lose sight of the fact. And whenever I teach about World War I and World War II, we loved learning about it, and we love talking about it in school. But I always take a minute of a lesson, at least a minute every year, to say, just want to make sure we're understanding that we, I love World War II. Let's talk about what we're saying there.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
And it's worth at least acknowledging. We're about to discuss something where so many brave people lost their lives, and you know what I mean, and just so many things that changed the world for the bad and not for the good. And there's nothing wrong with that in film, I don't think. Is it something that I want to be conscious of sometimes? I will willfully admit that sometimes I want a good vengeance movie. You know what I mean? Like, I want bad guy, does something to wrong the good guy. Good guy gets his vengeance.
I mean, we had our list of favorite vengeance movies.
Yeah.
And
so
solid movies.
I find myself still going to be down that lane, but I will never not have. I have 3 rearview mirrors now. I have the left, right, and the one that's right there in the middle now, and they're all working right now. So I can't be blind to that now, and that's not a bad thing for any human being.
No.
You don't want to have your barometer broken.
Now, after watching this movie, do any one of those mirrors, are any of them clearer than the next?
That's a good question.
If you drive fast enough, you don't need the mirrors.
If you drive a big enough vehicle, you don't need.
That's what someone would say who's only out for vengeance.
I literally wrote a movie where your father looks in a rearview mirror
Really?
and makes a comment saying, "No law against being an idiot." Literally wrote a movie with that line in there, where the officer's name is Jimmy. And it's written after your father. It was just a weird. That's a weird flex, a weird time. But I'm trying to think of what Vaz said as far as which ones are a little bit clearer now.
Because I guess I rephrased what I asked though. Is like, which one impacts you more? Is the cautionary, like the actual vengeance, or is it the stuff that came along with it?
Boy, okay.
So like, we'll say maybe Unforgiven, for example. Was it money coming in there and killing everybody, or was it, for him to get to that level, he needed to lose like his best friend, and everything else horrible that happened in the rest of the movie?
That's a tough one.
Because for example, when I see Unforgiven, I'm more affected by the fact that, the perception that William Money's character was pretty much emptied out of happiness. Like all the stuff that it took for him to revert back to this killer of men, and all this effort and experience that it took for him to become like a father figure to whoever was living with him and his own ranch and whatever it was, to take all of that and sully it with vengeance.
Yeah.
because he lost, his best friend. He lost the kid, also died, right? So to me, that impacts me more than seeing him come in and just take down, was it Little Bill?
Yeah. No, well, another Hackman character, like in the Quick and the Dead Man, with the preacher. You see his undoing. You see Hackman's reaction when he's like, I told you old habits die hard type of thing when he kills you. It comes naturally kind of a thing. And so I liked when I saw him fight back and start killing, but it didn't have the impact that what it cost him. I don't know if that's the same thing we're talking about, but that movie right there, I think it almost points more to what it cost him, because you see the bad guy reveling in it, saying, it comes right back, doesn't it? Killing people's easy type of a thing.
Yeah.
You never lose it.
Well, I think that it seems like that's what it's boiling down to, is you're looking at the cost of it. Mm-hmm. So a man of the cloth, is no longer that, because he reverted back to gunfighting and killing people. Mm-hmm. So was it? And then Sharon Stone's character too. She got her revenge on Gene Hackman and destroyed all these people's homes.
Yeah.
Like destroyed the town, set it, like the clock blew up, right, and set everything on fire and whatever. So all these innocent people that are living there, like, we're just gonna forget about them then? Like,
Well, they can't shoot out with her, so
she's got the upper hand.
yeah, sucks for you guys. No.
Tough questions, mister.
Well, I got another one for you then.
Oh, dear.
Your turn.
Ding me.
Ding him.
It's your ding.
Is it my ding? I'll ding Vaz any day of the week, twice on Tuesday.
Oh, you're too good at this.
I am freaking good at it. Gotta have something. Bowling in this.
Those 3 fingers there, apparently. What?
The Horseman.
What did you have a more visceral reaction to, Sweeney Todd or Les Miserables?
Great visceral reaction in both. Again, the politician in me. It was immediate in Todd.
Both were great.
To me. Intense and less long build. It was bold, whereas it was a bit of a slow burn in Les Mis, I thought. It built on purpose. And I'm all for concise. In Sweeney Todd was like, here's the mission. here's the room where it happens. There's not many places other than where it takes place. It's clean cut. It's the use of color, the use of, it makes you feel all the feelings. And then
And the songs help too, probably.
yeah, songs help a lot. And then even like I thought that the spoken word instead of the sang
Like a
word.
Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah, sang song. I felt like you had it was just more concise to me in Sweeney Todd. The thing that made it visceral, that smashed my senses, where you had these colors, the lack thereof. It was spoon fed a little bit more.
Yeah,
to me.
so, yeah.
Whereas Les Mis was, it's great. And like Vaz said, I've appreciated what Vaz said about it. Like I feel almost blasphemous saying this about Les Mis, which is this classic and just this amazing. I don't mind saying, Sweeney Todd's right there, but even where it has an advantage, if we're doing a matchup, Monday Night Football head-to-head matchup, it's that it's concise. To me, it travels. Some people say this is not great filmmaking. It doesn't have to travel as far to accomplish as much, to me. Whereas Les Mis traveled really far, beautifully, and accomplished the same thing.
Okay.
To me.
All right.
And so, because of that, it was the term. I had a more visceral reaction because it was just more a smash in my senses.
Okay. All right. I would say that because Sweeney Todd, you're kind of like, it's one character, you're following this main character, and it leads up to this point in it, and it, the turn happens, and he gets he gets killed for his actions. It kind of leads you in one path direct. Les Mis has like 3 characters you're kind of following and watching their redemption, and it's like a struggle, a twist, him getting given aid from the priest, and then given the gifts after he stole them. Oh no, you forgot the good stuff too.
Yeah.
And then having to learn the lesson, and it feels more of a arduous struggle instead of like this one pointed directed vengeance attack. And then you have what's her name, Fantine, her story. So it feels real strong there too, but it's in the beginning nor towards the middle of the story. It's not leading up to the end and it happening like that. I feel like those are the stronger moments for me. And then the kids die in the war, and it goes on further. But like I feel like Les Mis has these moments earlier in the story that felt more strongly to me.
Yeah, cool.
And then it builds them, and their stories keep kind of unfolding.
That's well said. Because I almost want to... I like when people make me want to change my answer, because I didn't see it that way at all. I'm like, this is just more concise, and more I'm like, there is craft and there is tact in that kind of storytelling to build that slow. Good job.
I've been learning about myself that I'm more a positive person than I would have thought I'd be, I guess. So seeing, people talk to me, they just assume that I like the violent movies, like the horror movies, or like this and that. And but I appreciate all sorts of different movies, and I'm learning more that I connect deeper with like the more positive messages, but not just like cheap, just manufactured feel good stuff, like not that, but actual good messages. So like when you see the reform that Jean Valjean has, how much his newfound faith has directed his life. You see at the end of it when he is dying at the convent, and he just the pure relief that he is being ushered into heaven by Fantine, and the respect and admiration that Cosette and Marius have for Valjean when they realize that he was the one that saved him in the sewer, and they're trying desperately, like, we have to go see him, and it was just to be so thankful and respectful of everything that he did for them. So to see that side of things, I feel like speaks more to me than when I see a revenge story. Almost always, I'm going to see the themes of, well, what did it cost to take your vengeance? And so then it kind of seems a little familiar, where it might be gratifying, but it's not going to cut very deep because I'm so familiar with those types of stories. You don't get to see as many stories where love wins out in the way that you see in Les Miserables.
Taking the hard choices,
right?
Taking the right,
like they're hard.
choices.
They're hard for a reason. They're hard. It's like you said, arduous.
Really good
for a reason.
Yeah.
And to me, that adds to the payoff. When the good guy does win.
So that's more of a home cooked meal as opposed to the candy bars.
Yeah.
Even though the candy bars are still pretty
tasty.
tasty.
You gotta let a sauce marinate for the whole day, rather than just opening up a bag of chips.
I bet you some of it is our sensibilities towards the song. There being so many characters and it being so long, kind of draws out a little in the middle. Where Sweeney Todd's a little more tight.
Yeah, I'm
focused.
I'm learning a lot about myself tonight. This whole podcast, man.
Hey, I got nothing. I feel like what Jean Valjean's character goes through is it's like a Christmas story type feel all the way through. But it at points could not be as entertaining as hey, let's wonder how that priest tastes. Like sometimes the silliness breaks up the mood, where there's the only silly part in all of what's it called is Sacha Baron Cohen again.
Yeah, isn't that true?
And Helena Bonham Carter.
Right. That's
Yeah,
both of them again.
Seriously, that's it. I mean, I think that it comes down to that too. The consumer, we use the words interchangeably sometimes in error, but like the perspective and the perception.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I operate within and without my insecurity and my defensiveness. I operate inside and outside of that because that's who I am. I'm in this machine. I am in this meat vehicle. Nickname in college, by the way. I'm in this machine, right? And all I have is I didn't put the buttons here, but so all I can be is honest about the way that these. Again, the term visceral lends itself to that. Like, it's a very unique thing. Like, how do you get? And I love though hearing other people's take on there. And this is why I think feedback's so important. Our listening folks is, and I think what makes it kind of cool, this podcast, is that my hope is that people are saying, "Yeah, me too," or "No, not at all, man. I feel like that," and because I find myself in these discussions, like not only just learning a lot about myself, but learning a lot about you guys, but also like expanding how I see not just film but the world a little bit. If I can be so, idealistic about it, it expands how I see things, and it tells me a little bit about myself, or, for better or worse, or just for state of being. Maybe not better or worse. Just I see it differently. I feel it differently, because I still, as much as I enjoy the complex build of Jean Valjean and company, it almost just galvanizes my answer more for Sweeney Todd to say, yes, all that is true, and I still like this better. It grabbed me and threw me around a little bit better, and that's a cool thing. That's a cool thing to be able to be aware, a little bit more self-aware and say, yeah, no, this is still pretty much it. This is still pretty much who I am. I like the fact that even after a couple seasons of growth and the gained perspective and gained perception, I'm still the guy that wants to, you entertain me first, you meet me where I'm at, because I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't have the time to do your math. I will not do your math. I'm not going to chew on the peas. Give me the steak and give me the dessert.
One
Please.
would argue that you chew harder on a steak than you do peas.
Yeah. Yes. I want. In that case, give me the flambe. Yeah, man, yummy payoff. I did not. I thought I was going to enjoy this movie and this episode, and we're not supposed to have favorites because there are kids these podcasts, but this is certainly, if I might quote Alanis Morissette, that's hilarious. This is certainly my favorite of the 2 seasons. This episode, movie is great and the discussion is great. Hard questions.
That's an Alanis Morissette quote?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Certainly 3 times in a row. I certainly do.
Sounds like a Roger Rabbit quote. That's what I was going to say. I wanted to add to your confusion about your perception of my tastes, but I may have seen Sweeney Todd more than I have Les Miserables.
Oh. I feel like Les Miserables is one of those, like, I got to sit down and consume it. I feel like I can throw Sweeney Todd on any time and be like, let it rip.
Therein lies my sensibility.
More easily digestible.
Yeah.
More easily consumed, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like Mrs. Lovett's meat pies.
Oh.
Savory and sweet pies. As you'll see.
Once were the worst in London. Awful.
Well, guys, do you have any other comments, thoughts, questions, about our not only Sweeney Todd, but our chapter on vengeance, and even in relation to our chapter on justice, because we, I purposely referenced Les Miserables quite a bit because of the connection between the idea of vengeance and the idea of justice.
I don't believe that we are wired to exact vengeance. I don't. We're wired to feel like we should and should demand justice and vengeance. I feel like but I don't feel like we are designed for vengeance.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I don't think we are. I don't think we are. I don't think we're capable of it, but to no good end.
Right.
We're capable of it because we are thrill-seeking ids. A part of us is, and we demand fairness. We are, but I don't think we're capable. I don't think we're designed for it. If I could be, I don't want to be preachy for a second, but like, there's a reason why the Almighty says, "Vengeance is mine. You let me handle that." Finishing the sentence for the good Lord, I will not do that. But like, if one could probably, I'm not going to because I don't want to get struck dead or anything like that. But like because you're incapable of it, dust. You don't have the capacity. You can't. You don't have the vision for it. And then, boy, that. And there is freedom in that. There is a great deal of liberty and freedom in that. That I don't have to carry that.
And I agree. I don't think you can put yourself in that spot without tainting yourself.
Yeah.
Something's going to stain you, dipping that low.
Yeah.
Without coming back different.
Yeah, I have to go to a dark place to make that happen.
Right? And what are the chances you can come back to enjoy it?
Man, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Because a lot of these stories, that goal of vengeance is it. There's no, okay, I'll get my vengeance and then I'll move on with my life.
Yeah.
It's vengeance only.
Yeah, like the end of your life is gonna
Like
nothing else past
like
this
Kill
point in your
Bill.
life.
It was like a kill list, and that's it. There's no get my daughter back.
Yeah.
There's no. Well, she didn't know she existed, but there's no like. Okay, then I'll find work as a mercenary, or I'll do this.
Yeah,
It's just
I'll bring her to
Kill
school.
Bill. That's it.
There's even kills the one girl, and then her daughter's there, and she's like, "Well, if you ever grow up to seek vengeance, I guess you're coming for me. So be
Yes.
it. You might come for my head someday."
And that's a cool Tarantinoism right there. That little.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you because my people aren't maybe going to follow along so well. So I'm going to show you this.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest. Whenever I ask the questions about like what impacts you more or what's more visceral, I keep thinking about an episode of Community. Do you guys watch it?
Oh yeah,
I've seen
Gosh,
it.
yes.
There's the debate of whether man is evil or man is good. So I feel like I'm the guy in the power wheelchair trying to convince you guys that man is good. So now I can say,
throw your legless body at us.
Yeah.
At you.
so here's me flying through the air
That's a great show.
at the end of our episode on vengeance saying, man is good.